one level of our practice starts with my contact to myself. So when I'm running into a difficult situation, how do I reconnect to myself? And for the last call, many people wrote in, like, what do I do when I'm overwhelmed? I can get overwhelmed by the kind of massive information that comes towards me. When I hear about massive impacts, for example, like the explosion in Beirut, or when we see the riots in the US, I see this and I might get overwhelmed. But then I can say, okay, when I'm overwhelmed, the trauma comes with a sense of scarcity. Something is always not enough. Either I have not enough capacity to feel myself, I have not enough space, it feels tight, I have not enough time, everything needs to be fast. And the counterintuitive movement is to take a breath. Often we keep on running, when I see, wow, I'm so fast, I need to slow down for a moment. So in many situations that are tight, in order to harvest the intelligence and the wisdom of my body, I need to take a breath, because my breath is a deep friend from right after my birth to help me to regulate my own nervous system. When I feel I'm getting stressed, I come back to my body. I come back to feel myself. And when I'm overwhelmed, then there's too much. I'm saying it's too much. And then to do more is not necessarily helpful, or to consume more information is not necessarily helpful. I need to say, oh, my glass is full, and if I pour in more information, it will be all over. It will spill all over. So I take a breath. I reconnect to myself, because that's the closest circle of intimacy. That's the closest, deepest place of my own regulation, where I can start to feel again, because overwhelming means I stop feeling. And I think when we start some kind of inner awareness process, at first it might look like sometimes things get worse in me, because I feel more disturbed sometimes. I feel also more things around me. And more awareness often brings also, I become more aware of something. And so that's why I become more aware that I actually stopped feeling in certain places of myself. And by becoming aware of it, we slowly turn on the light in the rooms of our house that we left. We open the door. We need to clean it sometimes. For this, we often need some support. We need relation. We need community. That's why we need each other. Especially when we are dealing with trauma, relation is one of the remedies, and retraction and isolation is one of the symptoms. So if I notice in myself that I have a tendency to withdraw and try to deal with it alone, then it's good to be mindful of it. Because alone, often I'm overwhelmed. But if you come when I am very agitated, or I feel overwhelmed, and I can tell you, Kosha, listen, this and this happened, and I feel overwhelmed, and you listen to me compassionately, we have already two computers processing that information. And that gives me safety. So when I'm overwhelmed, often we say, I don't feel safe. It's too much. I don't feel safe to feel deeper. So we need safety. We need a deeper connection to our body. We need to check in, what's my emotional state? Oh, I'm scared, or I felt very ashamed. That's why I cut myself off, because somebody said something and I felt very ashamed, or I felt very angry and I shut it down. So there is my inner work that we call self-regulation. Then how do I come back to my physical body, to my emotional experience, and then I can check in how related do I feel to my environment.